Hey guys, welcome back to another back project. This is a project you will either love or hate because there's a lot of work involved. If you wish to make something unique and one of its kind, this technique is for you. We learned the cut and bind technique to create your own unique pattern on the fabric. I have used a spray to glue the fabric. You can also use applique paper and follow the same method. This project is divided into two parts. So let's get started with the project. Let's go through what we need to complete this project. I have got 4 layers of the zipper panel cut out and a 20-inch long zipper, and I've also got an 8-inch zipper which is going into the pocket. This is the top of the zipper pocket and the bottom of the zipper pocket, and this is for the handle, and which I'm going to do later on. And here is the main fabric. I have got 1 layer of grey color and a 1 layer of brown colored. This is twill, polycotton twill, and I've also got 2 layers of lining which I'm going to cut later on. Okay, so basically this pattern you have to cut it on fold. This is the center fold, and so you place it like so and then cut out your pattern. But for the top decoration we're not going to cut it yet because we need to make some markings. So my panels are actually, if you fold it into half and place it like so, it's ever so slightly about half an inch to an inch longer and about an inch wider. You do need this panel if you're going to use this technique. This is all about making very abstract design. Okay, here I have a cutting mat and I have laid both the fabrics together. Now when you try this technique, try and make sure that both the layers are exactly the same fabric. If you're using a quilting fabric or cotton fabric, same width and same weight and the same quality of the fabric. It's very important, otherwise we're going to end up with problems. Okay, so basically you also need another layer of the same size of plain fabric, which could be either a fusible interfacing or just any backing fabric like a calico or a plain piece of fabric. And then you also, I'm going to use this one, which is a permanent fusible adhesive. We're going to spray it all around on a backing fabric and then use this. Okay, here is my 2 layers of backing fabric. I've taken a cotton fabric which needs to be slightly larger than your 2 panels that you're going to cut and sew. I'm going to keep this aside, and in here we're going to make some markings. So basically what I'm going to do is, this is all cut and sew, and you can, I marked this bit earlier as you can see, but this is a little bit too adventurous when you have the lines cut across in a panel. So let me show you something very simple, because it just makes your life so much easier if you're trying this technique for the first time. So let me just go ahead and do that, and this could be quite abstract. As long as you have like 1 panel going all the way and going to end, then you don't have to cut it across just to attach your bias binding. So that's the whole point here. So let me just do 1 like that, and then 1, then that should be fine. You could just go ahead and do any sort of design you like. I think that should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. We're going to go and cut both the layers together exactly on the marking. So I'm going to use my scissors. When you get confident, you can use your rotary cutter. Okay, your cutting has to be smooth. It can't be kind of, coarse. So just take your time to do this. Now we need to see the design. So I'm going to take a layer of brown, and then I'm going to take a layer of brown here. So there's your sort of abstract design. Now we need to put this all together. You could go ahead and create any sort of design, like swirly bits, and you could just go really complicated. You could go straight line. You could just go like a wavy rickrack sort of style. You could choose whatever you like. Okay, so we need to place this on another fabric and see how we put this all together. Okay, I've put it back as it was before. So now what you need to do is either go and mark it on the wrong side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. So you need to mark it so you don't get confused, because once you lift this up, this is like an amoeba. It just, you just don't know where to start and where to finish. So it's very important you do this. So what I normally do is I just take my cutting mat and keep it away so I can place this, bring it back and place it on the fabric the way I want it. Okay, so let me just go ahead and keep this aside, and we're going to prepare the base fabric, and then we're going to bring this back and have arranged the things the way we need it. Here I have the base fabric, which is 100% cotton and quite thin, and I've ironed out all the creases, and what I've done, I've placed my pattern like so and just marked out an outline, because we are going to glue this fabric. So we need to know how far we have to glue. And also it says on the instructions here that on the borders you have to glue a little bit more, because so that it kind of sticks properly. So that's why I have given a bit extra on all the sides, so we don't have to worry about gluing kind of too much on the border. So we're just going to spray the glue all around, and that will be ready, and then we're going to place our cutout fabric on top. Okay, I just sprayed a little bit. Basically follow the instruction, shake it up properly, and then just go ahead and do that. Okay, I've left it to dry for a couple of minutes, and I've got my cutting mat over here, so the fabric is all spread out. So what I'm going to do is going to take the corner and try and place it where it needs to go. Okay, now I've got all the pieces in place, and you get the opposite design on the other side of the bag. Okay, now what we need to do is just make sure that tidying up the edges. Just go ahead and place it, so because it just needs to sit properly. I have kept it all in place, and this every join is matching properly. So now what I'm going to do is place a grease-proof paper on top like so. So the edges are covered, because this is not covered with fabric, and you don't want the glue attaching itself to your iron board. So just go ahead and place the hot iron, and you need to keep it in a place for about 25 to 30 seconds. Please read the instructions, and that just tells you whatever time, depending on the weight of the fabric you're using. You just need to do that, and so it glues itself. I have ironed it properly, and you can see it's all glued to the base of the fabric. Now what we're going to do is place your bias binding. Just probably it's best to go for a 1/2 inch wide bias binding tape. I've got 1 inch, so I'm just going to use it. I'm going to fold it into half and do so, but use a flat one if you like. Basically we're going to edge it like so on each join, and then go and sew a stitch on either side. This is time consuming, but it's just going to be a lot of fun, because you're creating the design on a plain fabric, and this is just one in the world, and nobody else will have the same colors or same shape as you have done. I've changed my foot to edge stitching foot, and we're going to place the binding like so. Just make sure it's in the center of the join that we have, and I'm going to place it to the edge like that, and then start sewing in the edge. It's as simple as that. This is all about practice. There's no technique or any secret tips. It's all about practice. When you turn your bends, you can just pull the bias binding a little bit. So basically what happens is it's just going to kind of sit neatly around the bend. I'd advise you to do this in a scrap piece of fabric so you get used to it, and once you're confident, it's quite easy to do. Okay, the next thing is we're going to go from the other side of the binding like so. This is much more easier than the first one. Go on to the other one because this is a bit more kind of long and it's got different shapes to it. One of the tips I can give you is just go and hand tack it in the center, so all you can concentrate then is on the sewing bed and not holding it and making sure that the shape is right. I'm just going to remove it a little bit because this is coming quite to the edge, so we don't want it so much to the edge. So I think I need to remove a couple of stitches here because otherwise it won't cover. See, this is what happens sometimes if you're not careful. I was looking at the other side, so okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna go back and make this a bit more bendy. So as long as you make sure the join is in the center of the binding as you lift it up ever so slightly, you're going to be fine. This technique is all about practice, nothing but practice. Now starting from the other end, it's a lot easier because it's already in place. All we're doing is edge stitching the other side. Let me explain one by one because I have already prepared some of the panels in the pattern pieces. Here is my pocket. Basically this was for a longer zipper. Now I found the matching zipper in my stash, so what I did was I used the same patterns, the top and bottom part of the pattern, and basically I shortened it to the We have come to the end of part 1. Links for part 2 for this project Marina will be in the description box below. Thank you for watching.